This is the story of a city where the sea levels have risen, submerging the entire area underwater. The bad weather and continuous storms destroyed many people's homes, forcing them to live on boats. In such times, people found happiness by reminiscing about their good memories. This process was made easier by a machine created by Nick, called REMINANCE, which allowed people to relive their memories as if they were actually happening again, displayed in the form of a hologram. For security reasons, Nick kept a record of all his customers' memories. Some customers were so attached to their memories that they would come back to relive the same moment again and again. One such customer, a girl, visited REMINANCE multiple times. One day, Nick's assistant saved her memories on a chip so she could relive her moments with her boyfriend whenever she wanted. However, the girl refused the chip because she preferred experiencing those moments live through REMINANCE. Everything was running smoothly until one day, a girl named May visited Nick's office. She had lost her keys and wanted to remember where she left them through REMINANCE. Nick helped her by showing the memories of her last day, and they found that she had dropped her keys at the club where she was a singer. May sang a song in her memories, and Nick was captivated by it because it reminded him of his grandfather, who used to sing the same song. After retrieving her keys, May left, but Nick's assistant informed him that she had forgotten her earrings, which Nick kept. Nick then went to the club where May used to sing and returned her earrings. During their conversation, Nick realized that May didn't have any friends. May invited him over to her house, and Nick accepted. They grew close, and the scene shifted to the two spending more time together. Nick explained to May that memories are strange, like perfume, enjoyable in small amounts. May responded, saying that while Nick had good memories, she didn't. Suddenly, the scene shifted again, revealing that what we had just seen were Nick's memories. Ever since May had left him, Nick was stuck in a cycle, reliving their time together over and over. He constantly questioned what had gone wrong and why she had left him. Did he betray her, or did she leave because of something else? To find the answers, Nick kept revisiting his memories of May, despite warnings from his assistant that excessive use of REMINANCE could harm his brain. May had left without any clues, and Nick was determined to find her through his memories. His assistant advised him to move on, focus on the business, and forget May. Financial troubles were mounting, and their regular customer, Elsa, had stopped visiting. Despite the advice, Nick went to the club where May used to sing, asking people about her, but he found no new information. He returned to his office and once again entered his memories of May through REMINANCE. Suddenly, a loud knock interrupted him. Frustrated, he stepped outside and found May's earring on the road. Surprised, Nick believed that May had returned, but his assistant suggested that the earring might have been there all along and they had just noticed it now. She urged Nick to forget about May and focus on work, reminding him that an intelligence project was at stake. At this point, Nick and his team were recording the memories of a dying criminal who worked for a drug mafia. They spent 12 hours trying to extract useful information, but the man only remembered pleasant memories from his past. However, just before his death, the man remembered a 5-year-old memory involving the drug mafia. In that memory, Nick saw May. Intrigued, Nick wanted to find out what connection May had with this man. During the investigation, the police asked the dying man some questions, which caused him to shake uncontrollably. Nick took the controls back and started rewinding the man's memories to search for the last time he had seen May. The memory revealed that May had been involved with the drug mafia and had been the first girlfriend of the mafia leader. She had also become a drug addict during this time. From May's memories, Nick learns that after a while, she had stolen a large sum of money from the drug mafia. Determined to find out more about her, Nick decides to confront the mafia himself. When he arrives and claims that May sent him, the drug mafia leader immediately recognizes him as the man May had left him for. Enraged, the mafia boss taunts Nick, asking if he thinks he's stronger than him just because May left him for Nick. Furious, he orders his men to torture Nick. Before Nick could succumb to the torture, his assistant bursts in, armed with a gun. She takes down several gangsters in a dramatic rescue, even shooting the tank holding Nick to release the water and help him escape. The mafia boss also draws his guns to kill Nick's assistant, but his shots fail. Nick manages to break free from his captors, shocking them and killing the ones holding him hostage. Together with his assistant, they escape the mafia's lair. Back at his office, Nick asks his assistant to access her memories of May's last visit. He places her in the reminiscence machine, and together they relive the interactions between her and May. During their conversations, Nick's assistant had always suspected that May was manipulating Nick for her own agenda. Eventually, May confessed to her that she was a drug addict and had been deceiving the drug mafia. She had been staying with Nick for protection, knowing that once the mafia realized what she had done, she would be in grave danger. After watching these memories, Nick realizes that May had not stolen anything from them. Instead, someone else had stolen Nick's memories, possibly one of his frequent clients, a wealthy woman married to a powerful man. This leaves Nick confused and desperate to figure out May's true intentions. What was her connection to Elsa's memories? Why had she come to him in the first place? Determined to uncover the truth, Nick starts searching for more clues about May. While investigating in the city, he encounters a man who tells him about a girl who might know more about May. When Nick finally tracks down the girl, he asks her for May's whereabouts. The girl reveals that May has been murdered, and her son has been kidnapped. Shocked by the news, Nick is attacked from behind, and the attacker warns him to forget about May. Despite the warning, Nick continues his search, trying to find the man who had threatened him. Soon, he discovers that the man is a corrupt police officer who had been working for the drug mafia all along. Nick then shifts his focus to Elsa, believing that by uncovering her secrets, he might find the truth about May. He discovers that Elsa had been in a relationship with a very wealthy man, who was married and had a son. After the man's death, his son tried to kill Elsa to prevent her from inheriting any of his father's fortune. Nick suspects that this girl, who was connected to the mafia, had sent May to steal Elsa's memories. One day, while walking down the street, Nick spots a woman who looks like May. He follows her, but she runs into a room. When Nick enters, he realizes that the woman is not May, but the man she ran to for help is the same corrupt police officer who had threatened him before, warning him to forget about May. Nick catches the corrupt police officer and decides to interrogate him about May. However, the man escapes, leading Nick on a chase. Eventually, Nick catches him in a submerged area of the city, and they start fighting. During the struggle, Nick is nearly drowned, but he manages to save himself and the officer. The scene then cuts, revealing that what we saw was just Nick replaying the fight in the reminiscence machine. In reality, Nick had brought the officer into the machine to access his memories and find out the truth about May. Before passing out, the officer warns Nick, trying to dissuade him from looking further into May. Ignoring the warning, Nick continues his search and discovers that May meeting him was not a coincidence, it had all been part of a calculated plan. However, from the officer's memories, Nick learns that despite being part of a con, May genuinely fell in love with him. Torn between her love for Nick and her mission, May had been tasked with killing Elsa. Nick sees in the officer's memories that, during Elsa's murder, May took Elsa's son and disappeared. The officer had no idea where May went after that. Nick is initially shocked by what he learns but realizes the memory is incomplete. Continuing to access the officer's mind, Nick uncovers the truth. May had returned to meet Nick again, but the officer had captured her because she had witnessed the murder. In the officer's memories, May confessed her love for Nick, knowing that one day Nick would find her and see her memories. Nick rewinds this memory several times, reliving May's final confession. Desperate for answers, he tortures the officer by increasing the voltage in the reminiscence machine, forcing him to confess his crimes. Nick stores all of the officer's memories as evidence. With this information, Nick goes to confront the woman responsible for orchestrating Elsa's murder. She had conspired with her brother, and together they had killed Elsa to avoid sharing the family inheritance. They also sent Elsa's son away. Nick tells her that the truth is now known, and soon the police will catch her and bring justice. Overwhelmed with guilt and fear, the woman attempts to kill herself but fails. Eventually, the police arrest her. Afterward, Nick tells his assistant that he's done searching for May. He realizes that life is too short to waste on the past and advises her to reunite with her daughter and spend time with her. Nick then solves the case that the intelligence agency had hired him for. The case brings a corrupt politician into the spotlight, whose actions had caused unrest in the city. With his job done, and feeling like he has no future left, Nick decides to live in his memories. In a final, bittersweet moment, Nick injects himself and enters the reminiscence machine, choosing to live in the memories he had shared with May, until the day he dies. And this is where the movie ends.